Okay, so a little bit of a different reaction this time, reaction slash review. So I saw that there were some character introduction, character profile, little video featurette type things, I guess, that Netflix has put up about various characters in The Witcher. I think there's only 3 right now. That was all I saw when I went looking on their channel. So they are profiling Geralt and, oh shoot, I forget the girl's name. The other 2 girls. Yennefer is one. It looks like Yennefer the way it's spelled. I might be saying it completely wrong. And then Cirilla, or whatever the girl's name, I think that's the character that he has to protect. So I decided I wanted to watch them because they're not very long. Well, I mean, they're on the longer-ish side, but it's not like they're 5-10 plus minutes or anything like that. They're just a few minutes. And I decided I wanted to film, a reaction, review, critique, commentary sort of thing. I guess it wouldn't be so much of a critique, more of a commentary, just because I have pretty much no clue about the characters in this story. Now, some people on my other, especially the very first reaction video I did to one of the earlier Witcher trailers, they gave me some information about him because I remember that I didn't understand, like I thought that he was supposed to have magical powers, but in the first trailer that I saw, it was primarily showing him doing sword fighting, so I didn't understand that because I felt like we were supposed to see something different. And someone explained to me why it was, he fights a lot with his sword. He has some powers, but he's not super powerful. So he engages in physical combat. He's physically strong. So maybe this character introduction featurette thing will explore that a little bit more. So I haven't completely decided if what I'm going to do is have all of these in one video or if I'll chop them up. It just intuitively feels more right to me to just have them all in one instead of separate videos. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and check out the first one right now. And this is for Geralt, I guess that's the right way to say it, Henry Cavill's character in The Witcher that's going to be on Netflix.
Tell me, Witcher, you don't believe in destiny?
He's so cool looking, y'all.
Or the lesser evil?
So tough.
What do you believe in?
What is a Witcher?
White hair, big old loner, 2 very, very scary looking swords. I know who you are.
A Witcher is a mutant. And their trade in particular
Look at that look.
is monster hunting.
The Butcher of Blaviken!
You are almost universally hated by every species on the continent.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It's unlikely you're going to have a cheery personality. But Geralt
Dark.
himself, despite the stony
Geralt,
exterior,
okay.
is actually quite good, but very capable of doing bad things. Geralt isn't simply a white knight. He isn't simply a harsh monster hunter. He's an incredible blend of the two. The rumors about witches are that they don't have emotions.
You take no
Like a
prisoners.
tough guy.
So I hear.
And that is perpetuated by them.
Sometimes there's monsters, sometimes there's money. Rarely both.
When they're created, they undergo alchemical trials, which is a combination of elixirs and magic, which have very aggressive effects on their bodies. This allows them to take various potions. These potions enhance them in various and different ways. The signs that witches cast, they are basic magic, but very, very effective.
Okay.
You often see this very dry humor come through, which is one of the more charming aspects of Geralt.
You smell of death and destiny.
It's onion.
Right, yeah.
Destiny is one of the major
He's
themes,
dry.
which is a force which is controlling him and indeed the world around him. Geralt aggravates destiny. He doesn't believe in it. But it turns out there may be a little more to it.
Find her.
But Geralt's greatest strength is his capacity to still love despite having been treated incredibly harshly. Despite what he says, he still believes in the goodness of people. And you couple that with incredible sword skills, speed, agility, and endurance, then you have an interesting character.
True. True. So he, you know, his character almost I mean, maybe it's not accurate to say that. I guess it's just because of his tough exterior, the face that he puts forward. You know, he's just very, very macho and strong and tough. And yet he, you know, he's reviled by people, many people in society. He almost, I want to say he almost comes across as an anti-hero, but I don't think he is, because it seems to me like there's more good in him than dark. But I might be wrong. Maybe he is sort of an anti-hero. His character looks pretty dang interesting to me. Part of that is because I like Henry Cavill, and also just because the source material looks pretty interesting. I have always recognized his character as being, you know, like The Witcher. I've never played the game, but I always knew who he was because he is very impressionable, his look. And I always could tell that, oh, this is that Witcher guy, even though I didn't know the first thing about his world or his story or the game. And I never had any interest to play the game. I still don't, because I'm not really into console games. I prefer more PC games and not really fighting role-playing type games. I'm not a huge fan. But having said that, some of the stories in games that I see look really interesting and look like they would be so much fun to watch in a movie or TV show format. Like, I would love to see a Metal Gear Solid movie. That looks like that would be amazing fun. But you couldn't pay me to play the game because I have no interest in playing the game. And so The Witcher has always been something interesting to me. So it's, you know, it's kind of exciting to see that they're making this series, and his character looks like he's going to be pretty convincing. I'm looking forward to finding out more about him and the world that he lives in. One thing I learned new from this particular little character introduction was that he's reviled by society in general. I didn't quite get that. I do remember seeing a scene in one of the other maybe the very first trailer, or maybe the second, I can't remember. Anyway, where they were throwing stuff at him, but I didn't know that was because of who he was. I thought people were just mad at him because of maybe something he'd done there in the town, and they were pissed. Or I didn't get what the situation was. You know, you kind of have to sort of fill in the gaps when you watch things and you don't know the full context of the situation. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching this, and I hope that it unfolds in a very good, strongly written way. I'm going to be so annoyed if the writing on this is weak. I'm having good feelings about it. I'm optimistically hopeful, tentatively optimistic. No, not optimistically hopeful. I'm tentatively optimistic about this show. So I guess we'll see. Now I'm going to wrap this one up and move on to the next one. Okay, so this video is a character introduction on Princess Cirilla. And from what I can recall, this is the girl that he's supposed to escort to somewhere, protect her, because she has to be somewhere. There's something important she's got to do, or she is important herself. So, don't know anything more about her character beyond what I've seen in the trailer, so I'm curious to find out more about her. Lion cub?
Here's your first lesson. As in life, it is impossible always to be fully prepared for battle. Keep your sword close and keep moving.
There's something special about this girl. She's very loyal to the people that she loves. She's built a heart from it. but just hasn't had any experience in the real world.
She's
All
been
she's
pretty
known was a
sheltered.
sheltered life as a princess
sheltered,
and
yeah.
this very secure network of people looking after her.
At least you didn't shit your cats.
She's very relentless, very stubborn, and she's also very naive. I think she just wants to make sure that she doesn't get trapped in that box.
Would you honor me with the dance?
Martin. She'd love to.
The typical conforming life of a princess. She wants to kind of break free from that. But she suddenly gets dropped in a very brutal world. People are after her. It does become something very scary.
Lesson number 2. Know when it's time to stop moving.
She loses everybody she's known within one night.
Oh my. Pretty traumatic. Wow.
A huge theme in The Witcher is the loss of family and the search for family.
Find Geralt of Rivia. He is your destiny.
If that's the last words that her grandmother has said to her, it
That's her
means
grandmother?
a great deal, and I think that's what keeps her determined to continue on. That's all she's got left to cling on to. It does mean a lot to her, but she doesn't quite know yet what it means. Being a princess doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
She just doesn't know where
What's
to
that, her
begin.
horse?
Be careful, child. This place isn't safe if you're alone.
And it's the same as every other place.
Okay, so I feel like this has given me a little bit of a better understanding about this character. Before, I had no, I mean, they called her a princess, but I had no idea in the trailers, or I guess it just didn't enter my head. I didn't process it correctly, that she had lost everyone important to her. She had suffered a great loss, and I mean, I gathered something bad was going on and she was in peril, but I didn't get that this terrible thing had happened to her. And so I'm wondering why, and I'm guessing that it has something to do with the next character that is profiled, which maybe I'm mistaken, is the bad girl, like the bad guy type person, the antagonist. I'm not quite sure, don't understand why this girl is so important. They haven't really told us. I guess that's going to be something that will be revealed in the show as you watch it, unless, well, I mean, anybody who's familiar with the books and the games, is her character in those? Or is she just made up for this story and The Witcher is the only one that is the constant element throughout, the series, the books, and the games? I don't know. I guess I could go and check and see, but, I don't want to read too much about this. I kind of want to just experience it from the perspective of someone that doesn't really know much about the basis of the story or anything. Like I said, I have not listened to the books yet, and I will probably wait until afterwards, because I feel like if I listen to them too soon, if I listen to them now, I feel like I'm going to have certain expectations about what should be in the show. So I feel like I will appreciate the books more, and maybe the show more, if I watch that first and then experience the books, because I won't be playing the games. But I definitely do have the books on my to listen to list. So, okay, well, there's that character, and let's proceed to the next one, the last one, I believe. I hope it is the last one. If it's not, I'll go and find another character, maybe film it, and then just kind of jam all of this together into that one long video I was mentioning. Okay. Okay, so this character introduction is for someone named Yennefer. That's what it looks like, with a Y, Y-E-N-N-E-F-E-R. And I might be wrong, but I thought she was supposed to be the bad guy, like I said earlier. So let's just jump right into this, and I will talk about it as it proceeds and more afterwards.
Do you know how many people wouldn't blink if you died?
Okay, no, maybe she's not. She's not the bad guy person.
You keep
Maybe?
secrets. You succumb to emotion, to weakness. Do you actually have what it takes?
Does she have
Yennefer is in a constant battle with herself. She had a really tragic childhood. A place of frustration, rage, confusion. She was born with a deformed spine and jaw abnormality.
Okay.
And because of that, her father resented her a lot.
How much for this beast?
6.
4.
Sold. 4 marks.
That moment sets up the whole of Yennefer's journey.
Just because you are conduits of chaos does not mean that you are capable of magic.
So she's going to be transformed by this woman.
Then became her life.
Who's next?
However, she is never satisfied, always striving for something else. She owns her sexuality and uses it to manipulate people and get what she wants.
Okay, so
Yennefer of Vengerberg.
My world is cruel. You enter, you survive, you die.
She presents a certain version of herself, someone who's direct and in control, dangerous. The arc that she goes through is an incredible challenge. She longs for this connection, but that fear, that insecurity, feeds this chaos, this magic that makes her incredibly powerful. She's epic.
What more do you want?
Everything.
Okay. So she looks like she's going to have a pretty interesting storyline, character arc as well. Seems like the princess will too. I am gathering that this character is going to be on the dark side. But I can't tell. She also kind of looks like she's got some elements of goodness to her. I might be completely wrong. But she looks like she might be a bit of an anti-hero. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading more into it than there really is. I'm just going based on the actress's expressions, her facial expressions. And so I guess I'll find out more about her as the story goes on. I can't quite tell if this is going to be a character I'm absolutely going to despise, or I'm going to have some sense of, positive feelings about. Typically, bad guy characters, you really, really dislike them. But some of them can be written so well that they become about as interesting as they are despised. Like you hate them, but they're so interesting you can't stop watching them. Or something like that. It reminds me of how the characters in The Boys are written. Even the bad guys, the scummy people, they have other sides to them that aren't completely scummy or bad. You see some vulnerability here and there, and it's like little glimmers of hope for them as a human being. So I'm wondering if that's going to be something similar. I mean, what she came from she seemed like her deformity. She was very mistreated when she was younger. And I wonder if that's going to be something that twists her on the inside and makes her just completely bad, or if as she goes through this character transformation, whether she will have still a little bit of goodness in her left over from when she was vulnerable and mistreated. And, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to find out. I'm completely unsure about her. And I guess any questions or speculations I have about her will be answered once I start watching the series. So anyway, yeah, super looking forward to this show. Really, really looking forward to this. This is one I am definitely going to make the time to watch very soon after it's released. And we'll be doing it when there is nothing else I have to work on, so that I can actually dedicate my attention to it and follow the storyline and so that I don't get lost. So, Okay, well, that is it for this series of critique reaction review videos. I'm going to wrap this up and see you guys later.